So we have the pleasure of having with us Yahly Bar-Lev, who is the director of Stand With Us in the Netherlands. Yahly, you are Israeli, you're Dutch, you're living there for almost a year. Did you expect something like this to happen?
No, I would say that I wouldn't expect this kind of pogrom, but there was already a few signs of anti-Semitism in Amsterdam in specific. But this kind of a behavior and violence, no, I did not expect it. It was a complete shock.
So what signs are you talking about when you say there were already signs of anti-Semitism? What exists everywhere in Europe, or something a little deeper?
So it seems like what we see in Europe in general speaking, we also had, there is a lot of pro-Palestine protests, but none of them escalated as far as I know and from as far as I've been here to these measures where you're hurting and lynching Israeli or Jewish people in the city. So they burned flag, they peed on flag, they yelled, they said things.
Yeah.
They did a lot of mess, but not in this. This is an escalation, and I have to say that it doesn't seem like this is going to be the end if we see how the police and the authorities handling it. And I can say that
they're not handling it, right? They're not handling it.
They don't know what there was like two opinion about this. On one hand, they say they don't do it. They do the talks, like they do support. They say that they are against it, but when it comes to practical and action, they don't take any measures, and they're very weak with the way that they try to not interfere. And the other side is they're afraid by themselves. In the end of the day, we're talking about groups of people, and they will not risk their own self to do it for, I'm sorry to say, but for us, I guess.
That's ridiculous. But, I think, Yahly, what's shocking to me is that Holland, the Netherlands, in the last election went pretty much right, went on an anti-immigration platform. Gert Wilders' party, he didn't take the prime ministership. But you'd think that the people of Netherlands had actually made their voices heard, and they were completely against this. So where is the disconnect between the voice of the people in the government and what we saw in the weekend?
So basically, the Netherlands and the Dutch, their mentality is very peaceful. They are not equipped with the understanding of what terror is. They try to be as liberal as possible, and that's the essence of the Dutch people. And I think that the Dutch people have said and spoke about it, but now they can actually see what's the outcome. I don't think they ever thought to themselves that we will get to an escalation where people are getting hurt and attacked and thrown into the canals in such a place. I would also say that there is a difference between Amsterdam, the city, and the rest of the Netherlands, where they say that I heard from my Dutch friends that if it will be not in the Amsterdam city, we might have seen other, let's say, Dutch people coming in and helping the Israelis and the Jews, because they are in the position where they don't really tolerate the immigrations, and I would say also the radical people in their.
So you're saying the hotbed is Amsterdam, like a lot of major urban cities where major droves of immigrants came. But you said, you just said earlier, this is not going to be the end. Where do you think this is going to go? Is it going to get worse before it gets better? Is that your assessment?
Yeah, my assessment, it's going to get worse. This is just because if you'll see how the police reacted, and the mayor who came on Friday to speak in Amsterdam with the Jewish community, she was again saying how much she's supporting and how she's doing everything that she can. But if this is everything she can do, it means they're going to continue. Let's take also under consideration the fact that people were not arrested on that day, if you can recall, only the day before.
Yeah.
Because it's a weak authority, it's a weak understanding of how the mentality is going, and it's really, I think now they understand it better, that it's going to give them, like, to the Dutch society, it's a big risk. And if they are not going to change their the way they approach it, and they didn't yet, we're going to see more and more of it, and that's something that I'm terrified of.
Well, I can imagine you relocated a short time ago, only a year ago. I mean, did you ever think that you're leaving war-torn Israel and you're going to end up in the hotbed of a modern pogrom?
Absolutely not. This is something that is, I have to say, we are seeing history kind of repeating itself. But I could never imagine. I've been in Holland since birth. Every year, everything is very peaceful and very nice and very calm. And coming into this, it seems like times are changing and fast.
You know, we had a hint of it, I guess, 20 years ago with the Van Gogh murder and Ayaan Hirsi Ali and what happened to her. Was that maybe canary in the mine of where it was going?
Maybe, perhaps.
It just seems that, like you say, the Dutch are such peaceful people. I also know we have so much support from the Christian community in Holland. And it just seems that it was crazy that it happened there.
It is crazy, but it's not out of the blue in that sense, because the protest started October 7th. They gave that day trigger already. And that trigger and those, let's say, woke people and those people who allow themselves to behave in ways that they wouldn't allow themselves before, now are surfing in, and we can see them more and more in our environment. And I think it is something that really, if policy would not be changed fast, we will see much more of it. And not only in the Netherlands. Netherlands is one point in Europe. We have a game next week in France, right? Like you're going to see what's going to happen. Even though I have to say that from what I heard, the police officers in France are much more with more action.
I agree.
Exactly. They don't stand there and just let 15 people chase someone on the street. That's something that you can see.
Yahly, how are the Jewish community of Amsterdam taking all of this? Because they're there. It happened this was clearly anti-Semitic, not anti-Israeli. How are they dealing with it?
I have to say something very good about the Jewish community and also the Israeli that are here. The first time that everybody heard about it was after the game. And they all, we joined forces with Maccabi Europe, and they found a place to get Israeli out of the city, drive them, volunteer from their own time, drop everything just to help every Israeli that was in the city center, to drive them to the airport, to drive them to the safe place. So on one hand, it's heartwarming to see how we can, unite in those situations. On the other hand, it feels like our voices here in that sense isn't heard. They're shocked. They feel that this is something that can escalate very quickly, and they're asking for actions. And that's why the mayor also went there to talk to them. And you can have seen the reaction of the Jewish community saying, this is the third time you're here, saying sorry. It was also at the Holocaust Museum. But what are you doing?
Exactly. Well, the king also said sorry again, but again, like you say, where's the action?
Yeah, where is the action? And only when they understand they need to act, that's when we can see that, a better time will come.
Please God. Well, thank you so much for the valuable work that you're doing there, for Stand With Us, and also for the community. I wish that you and your family stay safe, and hopefully we'll see that much needed change. Thank you so much for being with us, Yahly.
Thank you.